This is Lee with 82 Game and 12 here on YouTube channel Sons of Liberty 75. Back with, yet again, another video over First Victories, Wellington versus Napoleon. We actually have Wellesley versus Huneau, and Lock and Load Publishing. Terry Dougherty is the designer of this wonderful game. I guess you'd call it a grand tactical. It's down there in the blood and the mud and the bullets whizzing, cannon shot blasting by you or bouncing by you, and the thunder of hooves. And then I've got this little jewel here, Against the Odds, Annual 2023, La Bataille de Caen, August the 29th through the 30th, 1813. So this is part of the La Bataille series, Marshall Enterprises. That's the rule set that's used, that's included in this game. And at some point I'll get this to my table and to play this. So apparently this is still available. I got it off of the Against the Odds website. Not for sure where that would be. Oh, there it is. Let's see. Well, no, I don't see their website. But you can go to Google and go Against the Odds, or you can type in La Bataille de Caen and you'll be able to find it. So I just recently got this. So I know somewhere I saw 2025 on something. Oh yeah. So the magazine here says, if I can get back a little bit and not, let's see what's happening here. For some reason we've got, it's blurry. There we go. So it says right here, 2025. So I guess maybe this is a reprint maybe. Anyways, it's really doesn't have a whole lot of counters. And it's just a one mapper, and it's a smaller map, and you've got all the rules set in here. So this would be a really good game to start as a starter for the La Bataille series. And it does use the Marshall, I guess the most recent Marshall Enterprise system. So check that out. You've got Van Damme against the Austrians, the Russians, and the Prussians. So Tolstoy is the Russian commander. So you want to check that out. I just happened to come across it, and I was thinking, well, there's probably no chance I'll be able to get that. It's probably sky high and so forth. So I think it was like 60 something total after maybe it was 70 by the time of shipping. But it's just a Ziploc. It doesn't come in a box. So check that out. It's just another tactical system. And I've played some of those games. The most recent was the Talavera comparison I did. And I just wanted to mention these books again. You've got Wellington's Army, and that's Sir Charles Oman. covers the entire Peninsula War concerning the Army of Wellington. Robert Holmes' book on the Redcoat, the British soldier in the age of horse and musket. So that's going to cover more than just the Peninsula War. And then David Gates, The Spanish Ulcer, A History of the Peninsula War. And this is a very good book. All three are good books. David Gates really, I think, covers the Peninsula War thoroughly. So there's a lot of little battles or skirmishes and stuff that I wasn't aware of that I came across while I'm reading that. So I'm still on the process of reading through that. But that would be a very good book to get as a companion for this series. The others would too, but I really think this Spanish Ulcer would be instrumental in if you wanted to really get to know more about these battles. So you can get that on probably Amazon, or I got mine, I believe it half price. No, let's see. Book. Let's see. Where did I get it? That's a bookstore. I got it at a bookstore. I'll think of it maybe later. So we've got the French turn here. Last video had to do with the British. They had won the initiative and had decided to go first. And they had a lot of success over here on the French left. They caused 3 units to break. And putting a lot of pressure on these other units here. So Kellerman may have to redirect his attack. He had planned on attacking through here, this where this scrub is, and right in front of the 2 hills that are or have been important artillery posts, which are now vacant due to the fact that the artillery ran out of ammunition. So he's already got 2 units here, I guess 2 regiments there that are already engaged here and here. So we'll have to wait to see what happens there. But let's just jump right into it. We've got, of course, the rally phase first. Recovery segment, which is the rally phase, and then the cavalry recovery phase. And I just do both of those together as I'm going through, and instead of doing the rally phase only and then coming back and removing the spent markers. So let's get started here. We've got, of course, the broken unit here. And so they've got a -15. And I rolled an 18. So they will rout and move 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now we move on to this unit. Again, -15. 29, that's also going to rout. Okay. This one here. Okay, they rolled in. Oh, no, they can't roll. They're in the, if you're in a zone of control, you're not able to try to rally. So they don't get that opportunity. So let's look at these other units here. So right here, we've got a shaken unit. Okay, they're in the line. That's what that blue disc on the bottom there. It helps because the counters move around a lot. So minus 10. Ooh. Now you can't roll lower than that. 0, 0, 0. So they don't recover. We move to this unit here with Lasson. He's got a +5. So they just need to get they got to get higher than a 35. 56. So they recover. All right. And then we go to this unit. Oh, they got a 30. 22. They don't recover. I'm rolling low here. Let's see here. We can move back here to this one. Who knows there? That's a +10, -5, so a +5. And I rolled a 9. So they stay disordered. Okay, so this unit's in a zone of control. This unit's in a zone of control. This unit is. Now these two units there they can roll. So let's roll with this one. Okay, 35 -5. Rolled a 74, so they're going to recover. Okay, now this unit here. They have a 39 -5. I rolled an 11, so they're not going to recover. These guys can't. They're in this zone of control there. This unit here, though, can. 60, so they're going to recover. Okay. All right. So this unit here, okay, they're shaken. -10, but +6 because Vimeiro is there with them. So it's going to be a -4. 68. So they're going to go improve to disorder. Okay. Then we move over here to this unit. It's cavalry. So we're going to remove this spent marker. They got a -10 with a +2, so -8. $35. They're not going to recover. I can actually turn them around. I don't know why I had them facing that way. Let's see. It would be like that. All right. And then let's see, we move to this one. Okay. Okay, got a 43 -5. 64, they're going to recover. The spent marker's gone. And then we move all the way out to we got minus 10. Spin marker's still on. 78. So they're going to go to disordered. Okay. So that takes care of that. So we've taken care of the recovery segment. No, we still have the artillery resupply. Okay, so now we go to artillery resupply. Let's see what we got here. We've got this unit that's sitting right here on this road. This unit. Oh, I rolled a 5, so no, they don't. And I think, yeah, that's the only one for the French. So that takes care of the artillery resupply. Fire combat. So here, we got a skirmisher under here. Of course, their fire strength is going to be 0 because they've got their shaken. So it'll be a 0. 39 is not going to be enough. Not going to be enough. Have to get at least a 69 if you have a 0. So, those guys are in line. Okay. So this artillery unit, I guess he's not going to be able. This guy is down, so he wouldn't be able to fire there. He's going to have to. He won't be able to fire here either. He could fire here or here. This guy's up. He could fire here. So let's fire there. This is a artillery unit, but it has, we're going to be firing through that shrub. Let's see here. No. You'd have to fire over here. This guy. Spread across here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's where he's going to fire. Okay. So let's see what he's got here. 2. Strength of 2. 5 is still effective. And he's firing into the flank. So that's going to be a +2. So now he's at 4. Okay. $66. That's going to be a morale check -10. They're already disordered. So that's going to be a minus 15. But they rolled an 82. So no effect. Okay. All right. So next, we have this skirmisher firing. This is a front hex. They're going to fire right there. This right there. They got a strength of 3. But they're disordered, so a strength of 2. And they've got a skirmisher thrown up, so it's going to be a strength of 1. 11. It's going to be no effect. Okay. Then we go right here, and he's firing right here at this guy. Strength of 3. He's in the scrub, so that's minus 1. Minus 1 for the skirmisher. So now we're at 1. Ooh, a 95. That's going to be a morale check minus 10. Okay. So, let's see. 39. So, rolled a 52 minus 10 is a 42. So, no effect there. This guy here is going to fire here. That's this one here. So, fire strength of 1, disordered minus 1. Yeah, he's going to be firing at a 0. 54 is not going to be enough. I think that was, let's see. Yeah. Okay. Now this guy here is firing at this SCD unit. So that's a minus 2. He's in shrub. That's going to be a minus 3, so he's going to be firing at a 0. 27 is not going to do anything. Okay. This guy, he's firing. He's shaking. He'll be firing at a 0 with a 0. 10. Okay, this guy here, he's going to have a 0. 22 is not enough. This SCD unit here, who's going to have a strength of 2, is going to fire here. These guys. And they're firing into their flank. So that's plus 2. So he's at 4. $58. It's going to be a morale check. And they're going to fail. So they're going to go to disorder. Then this unit here is firing at him. He's going to have a 0. 16. 19 is no effect. And we have this SCD unit here. Strength of 4. He's going to fire there. $47. That'll be a morale check. They roll a 91. That's going to be a pass. So they passed. Okay. So now this one's going to get fired on. So what do we got here? We do have this artillery unit that's at a higher level. He can fire right here. Yeah, he's at a higher level. But, I don't know, he's right there. I guess he can still see him, yeah. Strength of 2, -1 for being disordered. 1, 2, 3. That's just going to be, well, he does have skirmishers though, so it'd be at a 0. A 5, no effect. Then this guy here, he's got SEDs. He's got a strength of 2. -1, so it'd be a 1. Strength of 1. 19, that's no effect. This skirmisher here will fire there too. And he's disordered. I should have one now, yeah. Okay. So skirmisher is going to be at 0. 42's no effect. We have this one here, who's firing right here. Shoot. Oh, he rolled an 81. Here's his target. So what I say, a 0, 81 is going to be a morale check. And they rolled an 18. So they're going to break. They are going to break. They go 1, 2, 3 back here. Okay. So he'll fire there. Zero strength. 61 is not enough. And then this one here. Again, 0. 67 is not enough. All right, so that takes care of the offensive fire segment. Now we go to the artillery fire segment for the non-facing player, which is, I just call it the defensive player. So let's see here. Guess he's not going to be able to fire there. But we do have one right here. Right here. Strength of 2. Right here. Firing right here. So they've got skirmishers. So his disordered puts him at 1. Skirmishers put him at 0. But canister puts him at +3. And the target's in column. So that's going to be at a 4. 40. It's going to be morale check. They rolled a 93, so they're okay. They didn't get rattled. And let's see here. I think, unless we have one, let's see, this one here. This one could turn like so. Fire right here. That's this artillery unit right here. It's disordered. All right, so they're going to have a strength of 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Effective. But they do have skirmishers, so it's going to be a 0. But +1 for being in column. 33 is not enough. So that takes care of that. Now we'll move to the movement segment. Where we've got attack orders. So all right, so we'll start with Kellerman. He's got the attack order. So we've got an assault, but he's adjacent there. Okay, same thing here. So There's a minus 20 for being adjacent. This one here, it's going to turn and go right here. But before they can get there, this unit here can fire at them. So this unit's moving. This unit here is firing at him. So he's got skirmishers. Skirmish strength of 1. Minus 1 for his skirmishers, but he's in columns, so it's going to be a 1. 27 is no effect. So they move to here. Oh no, they can't. I don't think, let's see, maybe they can. Let's see, I don't know that they can. Well, it says units in disorder may still move and fight normally, but apply the following detrimental effects. So I guess they can. I guess that's just the cavalry that it can't. I guess you can have your disorganized guys. So yeah, they move to there with an assault. Okay. We've got, well, that's not part, it's not part of Kellerman. So let's see, this unit here, I think he's going to stay right where he's at. Okay, so let's now move over here to Delaborte. And this here actually belongs here. How come it's right here with these guys? This guy, this artillery unit is actually out of command. I'll have to move him later. So all right, so this guy's going to move into here. These skirmishers here can fire at them right here. When they're in this hex. It's going to be a 0. 82. morale check, 61, they passed. So then as they move into here, I don't think this artillery unit here would be able to do reaction fire. Let me see if I can find anything about that. Let's see, I know there's, where's the reaction fire? Is that all that? Okay. See here. Should be under, let's see, should be under 14. Okay, so artillery has an extended reaction fire capability. But zone of control, let me find that. Okay, so zone of control. Okay, it doesn't state. So I guess you can still fire at units even though you have someone in your zone of control. So this artillery unit would still be able to fire right here. They'd be able to fire here. So they got a strength of 2, -1 for being disorganized. We've got -2 more for the SEDs. So we're at a -1. And then canister is a +3. So we're at a 2 now. And then he's in column, so that's another plus 1. So I guess we're at 3, right? Okay, so disorganized is minus 1. SED is minus 2, so they're at minus 3. He's got a strength of 2, so minus 1. Canister is plus 3, so that's a 2. And then target's columns, so yeah, we're at 3. Ooh, a 99. Okay, that's going to be step loss and minus 20. Wow, blasted them. Step loss. And disorganized. Okay. This guy is not out of command. His leader's right there. And he's got a range of 2. So he's not out of command. 1, 2. So now he moved in there with the intent of assaulting. So assault the guns. This guy moves into here. These guys can fire at him. It'd be a 0. Fire strength of 0. 60's not enough. And then as he moves to here, he's going to be fired on by these guys here. And not these guys, but these guys. Again, it'd be 0. 64 is not enough. And they get a assault marker right there. Delaborte. This should actually be SCD. Okay. Um, this guy here can assault this guy, but he's going to have a -20 because he's adjacent. Just got to throw out a skirmisher. So over here, so yeah, he'll send this guy in. So he'll go to there. But as he's moving, he's going to get fired on by this skirmisher here. But he has a skirmisher. But he's in column, so it's going to be a strength of 1. 68. It's going to be a morale check. He rolled a 69, so he'll pass. Okay, so he goes to there. And this unit here moves to here with Vimeiro. All right. Then we go over here to these cavalry units. I'm going to put a charge here. I'm going to put a charge here. Charge. This unit here is going to move away, but as it moves, it's going to get fired on by this unit. So, strength of 1, firing at cavalry is +1, so a 2. 70. It's a morale check, and they failed. So, they are going to become broken. And ride back 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, he's going to move. They're in charge. That guy. One, two. In charge. All right, so we got that taken care of. Okay, now we're going to move some of these other units here. So this artillery unit is out of command, and but on the road, let's see, they can move half, so he's out of command. It's 4. The village would cost 4. We don't want to go through the village. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Where that goes. Okay. And then over here, we've got this artillery unit right here. That's in command. They want to get to a road. So, 1, and then here, let's see, artillery. Okay, it's +1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's where they went, right there. And let's see here. 2, 2. That's going to belong here. They're going to move up. No, though. It's going to move. Let's see, he could move back here to help one of these routed units. So that's what he'll do. Let's see. He can move up to 20. I'll just put him back here. This unit. Okay. All right, that takes care of the movement. And then next would be the close combat phase, or segment, actually. So we do the charge phase first, and then the assault phase. Let's start here with this one. So these guys here, he's charging right there. Or, hold on, yeah, it's going to be the same. Except Bagnares adds 1. So let's start with this one first. Now these guys can attempt to go to square. Oh. And there's 1, 2, let's see, 1, 2, 3 hexes away. So there's no negative modifier. So 91, so they can go to square. We can attack these guys here, though. Now, they're already in an enemy Zoc. So, that's going to be minus 10. But it's not, they're not really looking. Their focus is here and here. So they're going to go 1 and then slam into them right here. All right. That's where they started. Right. 1, yeah. Right here's where they started. Right there. This is the target. All right, so defensive fire, we can have these two squares here fire. They can't fire. But we got to do the morale first. Okay, so do the charge movement. No empty target hex, no retreat for combat. Combat versus infantry, so we go straight to defender morale check. So, charge defender morale check. They have an SD. Okay, it's not through the target's front hexes though, so they don't get that target. Target has SK markers. Okay, they're not a target of an assault. They are charged from their flank, so that's -30. So they're got a -30. $57. Okay, so they're gonna fail. So they go to disorder, and they just stay right where they're at. So now we're going to have okay, we remove the skirmishers. Defensive fire, but they can't have defensive fire because they're not targets going through their flank. So we're going to cold steel. All right, so with the cold steel, okay, cold steel odds 3 to 5. That's 3 to 2, 2 to 3. So they're going to get a plus 1, but they're disorganized, so that's a -1. So right now they've got a -1. Charge distance was 1, 2. We charged 2 hexes, so that's +2 so far. Into the flank is +2 more. So now we're at 4. Okay. Plus, let's see, they get a +1 and a +1. So now we're at 6. Okay. So now we roll. All right, so we got a 1 and we got a 4. Okay. That's going to be 10. So they're going to take a step loss. Oops. And they're going to go from disordered I think they're going to lose 2. Let's see how many they lose. Yeah, they worsen their morale state by 2 levels. So, well, I would have defensive fire from those 2 squares. So, let's see, 4, I'd be firing 5. 1 each. I didn't do that. Let's see. Okay. This one here is firing into their flank. So actually that would be what? +2. Their cavalry, that's +1. So we're at 3, 4. I rolled a 5. Okay. And the other one is straight on. So that's just going to be a 2. 51. Route check. 51. They passed. Okay. All right. So that was a 10. And they had a 0. So they go from disrupted or disorganized, shaken, to then broken. So they've got to, now when they retreat, I think they have to take a loss. Let's see. So that might be all of them. Let's see here. Okay, so they're broken. 1, 2, 3. They're going to be disordered as they move in. So they can't change their facing because they're not infantry. But now we have to go to whether or not they're going to pursue. Guess they just have to stop there because they're in an enemy zoc. Let's see. Well, maybe let's see if, oops. Let's see. Yeah, they do have a zoc, so they would just stop right there. Now they could, regroup. Of course, they're going to be fired on. So they move from here to here. They're fired on by these guys. So they're in their flank. So that's plus 2. They're cavalry. So that's another one. That's plus 3. And then the strength is 1, so that's 4. Rolled a 10, so no effect. They move to there. Now these guys, when they move from here away, these guys will be able to fire. And also the other ones. Set 57. That's a morale check. 47. Okay, they pass, but then the other one gets to fire. This one. $61. And that's going to be, let's see, not in the flank. So that'll be us 2, 61. Okay, so they become shaken. Go to right there. And I get 2 spent markers. Let's see. Yeah, that's where they'd have to go. I'll just take that guy's charge out. Okay, now I had completed this here, but I need to go back. And look, because see, this cavalry unit, combat units are not able to move voluntarily from one enemy's zone of control to another. And see, they were there. Okay. And for them to move into here, that's from zone to zone. So they would have had to move, if they were going to move back this way, which would have taken this skirmish, this shaken marker, they wouldn't have gotten. They would have either had to stay where they're at or move through here. And leaving an enemy Zoc has to be, if you do leave, it's got to be the first action taken during movement. But you can't move from one enemy Zoc to another, and that's what would be happening there. So, and let's see, moving through another unit. Okay, pass through units. Right here. Pass through units that intend to move through and not stop in a hex containing friendly units expend +1 movement point in addition to any other cost to enter the hex. So, but I don't know that cavalry can move through infantry. It says cavalry are not allowed to voluntarily stack with other types of combat units. Okay, cavalry units may move through units deployed in SCD formation, but may not in their move stack with them. So maybe the cavalry can't move through infantry. So I guess that means they can't move through infantry, which makes sense. Can't just ride through, you know. So they're kind of just stuck there where they're at. So next is I had marked this unit with a charge marker, and then I took it off. Well, I can't do that. Once you place the marker, you have to then do something, whether you do like a recall or you go ahead with a charge, whatever it may be. So once I place the charge, okay, so the charge zone is fixed. So I can't, you can't, you can't like change the charge zone by turning. So basically the only target he has is this one right here. And I don't think that's going to be a very good charge. I mean, besides possibly getting him to disorder. But okay, so this is where he's at. He goes 1 and then 2 right there. Okay, so they're in square. Set this here. And so we've got defender morale check. So they are going to get, let's see, here we go here, against charge. They're in a square, so they get a +20 to their morale. Okay. The charging CV is 1. So that's -5, so they're going to be at +15. So, of course, I rolled a 87, so they passed. And so the defenders get to roll for defensive fire. And so since they're in square, their strength is going to be 1. Okay, but then they get well-directed fire +2, so they're at 3, and they're firing at cavalry, so that's 4. 76. So morale -10, and they rolled a 50. That becomes a 40, so they're going to be disrupted, disorganized. Okay. All right, so now, okay, but they lose, in fact, they lose 2, I believe they lose 2 morale. Instead of just 1. But there's a -20, but they already failed. So Let me see here about this undirected fire. Okay, no. All right, so now we go into the cold steel. So okay, now their combat factor value is going to be +1 for each strength they have. So they've got a strength of 5, so they're going to have a 5. The cavalry unit, who is disorganized, has a -1, so they're going to be at 0. So right now we've got 5 here. Okay. Charge distance was 2 hexes. Over here, 1, 2. So that's, they got a +2. Okay. So that's going to be it. So it's going to be 5 and 2. Well, not so good. Okay. So we've got 8 and 10. 10 is going to be a loss. 2 step loss here. Okay. So they flip over. Okay. And I also have to give them. I didn't give their strength modifier. So the strength modifier would have been a +1, but they still lost. But that's 9 now. They still don't inflict any losses. Okay, units that lose cold steel combat worsen the morale state by 2 levels, retreating as necessary. So they're going to be shaken, which means they're going to lose their square formation. They're going to be shaken, and forced back. And of course, this unit has to move into here. And as they move into there, they're going to get fired on from this unit here. So, strength of 1, because they're in square. And firing into the flank is +2, so they're at 3. And then firing at cavalry, so it's they're at 4. 6 is no effect. So they move to here. And of course, we could have a follow-on charge. They'd have to pass a morale check. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Do the follow-on charge. Got a 9, so they become shaken and are forced back. Which, when they do that, they're going to get fired on by multiple units now. So they're shaken. They're going to go from here to here. This unit, and this unit are all going to fire on them. This unit, of course, is shaken. So strength of 4 minus 1. But I think they have to go to column. So I would put a red marker, underneath them to signify that they're in column. When you are forced out of square, you have to go to column. So they only fire with a strength of 1 minus 1, so they're firing at with a strength of 0. 26, no effect. Now, I hear these skirmishers are looking here and here. Okay, here the square could fire this one. Again, that's just strength of 1. Firing into the flank, though, is +2, plus another one for being cavalry. So that's 4. 44 is a morale check, and they rolled a 44, so they're going to break. I don't know that I have any more broke. Yeah, I don't have any more broken markers. This is what's irritating. Not having enough markers. Well, here's one. So now they're going to move back 6. 6. So they moved back to there, back to here. And they're broken, and they get their 2 spent markers. Oh, we got the other charges to still do.